Well, there's two parts to what you just asked. One is, the how do you stay peaceful, and that's an interesting thing. And my definition of peace is the cessation of againstness. I'm not against. So if I'm in anger or upsetness, it suggests that I'm in a place where I think I'm right and you're wrong. My child, my partner, guy in the car who just cut me off. Any one of those situations. So if I'm going to stay at peace, that means I need to come back to not being against him or that person or my child. Doesn't mean I'm for what they're doing, by the way. I'm just not against it. So that's not easy. So how do I keep remembering that? It's or how do I effectively change my reactive patterns? Was what you asked. So I often say the first step to change is awareness. You can't change anything until you're aware. In fact, in here I talk about I have basically 5 steps to change. How do I change in an effective way? And there's really, how do I change myself? And then how do I control and manipulate you? And actually, there is a way of controlling and manipulating you that's a very loving, healthy way. Most of us don't know how to do that, by the way. We try to do it through intimidation by beating you up so you won't ever do it again. I do the same thing with myself. If I'm angry and upset, I'll beat myself up because I shouldn't be angry and upset. Wrong approach. If it's true that the first step to change is awareness, here I am aware I'm just beating the crap out of myself because I just yelled at my kid, right? So that slaps that awareness into the unconscious. It's still going on. I'm just not aware of it. Wrong approach. That's what most of us do, however. So what I need to do, this probably isn't the time to go through all 5 steps, but the first step is awareness. The second one is thank you for letting me be aware I'm beating up on myself. Maybe I will go through all 5. I'll go through all 5. Thank you for letting me aware I'm beating up on myself. So that sends a little message to your inner child or basic self. Oh, you want to be aware every time you're beating up on yourself? Yes, I do. And so it says, okay, so popcorn effect. All over the place, I start to see every place where I'm beating up on myself. It's all over the place. Wonderful. Every time you see that, that's an opportunity for change. Then we go to the next one, which I call acceptance. And then you have an affirmation there that goes, I forgive myself. I forgive myself for beating up on myself. I forgive myself for judging myself. That's dramatically different than what most people do. I have a little mouse here, a little mouse here. Goals, I want them to cross this line. This one, every time it doesn't go in that direction, I give a little electrical shock. Eventually crosses the line. Success. This one, every time he looks at the line, I give a little pellet. Eventually crosses the line. Success. The difference between this mouse and this one's being neurotic as hell, motivated out of pain, fear, and judgment. This one's going to be motivated out of loving and nurturing. Most of us have been trained with electrical shock treatment. So this is, I forgive myself. It's a much healthier approach. Then we go to the next step called alternative, which is, next time I'll do better. So we're programmed a strange way where we only hear the last couple words that we hear. For example, don't think of your shoes. Oh, okay. And so we tell the child, don't drop that glass. Shh, drop that glass. Don't do that. Don't do that. Do that. Don't screw up again. Screw up again. So we're giving the command, next time I'll do better, do better, do better, do better, do better. That's the command. So it says, okay, I'll do better. In that process, you can also do what I call a little brainstorming. So if I was to do better, what would that be? Well, maybe I would say, instead of yelling at my child, or maybe going out of peace, maybe I can just do some self-loving. There's some ways of expressing some anger and hurt in here, but I can do that and then do some self-loving, breathe in joy, breathe out joy. There's a bunch of things. And then the last one is just action. I'm just going to do one or all the alternatives as I show up. So it goes really quick. Maybe as you're driving home, God, I'm remembering my kid, and this afternoon I was really upset. Oh, wow. I'm beating up on myself. Thank you for letting me be aware of that. I forgive myself for that. Next time I'll do better. 5 minutes later, oh, thank you for that. I forgive myself. Next time I'll do better. 5 minutes, thank you. I forgive myself. Next time I'll do better. Now you have a habitual loop that will set you free. Whole nother approach. Very exciting. Okay. Thank you for the question. So